Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the special session meeting, June 29th, 2026, for the Amityville BOE School District. We now call the meeting to order now at 5:35 p.m. In attendance tonight is myself, Board President Johnson, Chris Neary, who is our second vice president, Carol Sleepoff, trustee, and Megan Bestman, trustee. It's anticipated that Michael McDonald and Leslie Fretz will be attending, and Wong Young is going to be absent. Also in attendance is our superintendent, Dr. Gina Talbot, our assistant superintendent for construction, Mary Stevens, our director of human resources, Dr. Stephen Rundown, and our interim assistant superintendent of business and finance, Joe Rigo. And it's also anticipated that legal will be arriving roughly around 6 p.m. Can I have a motion to enter into executive session at 5:36 p.m.? Motion. Okay, wait a second. For particular persons, employment history, discussion of superintendent evaluation, as well as particular person's employment history and advice from legal counsel. So, particular person's employment history, superintendent evaluation, and advice from legal counsel.
Motion.
Chris Neary is first, second. Carol Sleepoff is second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 4-0. Thank you for joining us.
Please. Motion. Second.
Megan is first. Megan is first. Carol Seehoff is second. So this will be the second and final reading for this agenda item. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 7-0. Because Chris just resigned. Okay. 7-0 because Chris.
It's still 6.
I'm sorry, 6-0.
Maybe
Yes.
before it was.
Yes, I'm sorry. So,
Yeah.
all right. So this is 6-0, carry 6-0. And I need to make a correction. The last one was 5-0. Because Chris was not here. All right, can I have a motion for agenda item 2B2 as the second and final reading?
Motion.
Carol Seehoff is first. Leslie Kretz is second. Any discussion on this item?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. Almost there. Okay, just super minor, but in the second paragraph, it says including staff present. I think maybe it's including present staff, but super minor.
Which you're on page
Second
one?
paragraph. Yes.
Okay.
Second line.
I see it now.
Okay. Okay, on an annual basis, the board shall appoint 5 community members. So I appreciated that we kept it in as 5. I don't I still am in disagreement that we're going to designate the order in which the community members are to be assigned on the selection committees, so I would suggest to strike that. Um,
I'm in support of leaving it as designated, like as it is stated in the policy. I don't want to strike that particular line. That's just me.
So I guess what that means is that, are we making it a formal appointment, like ahead of a selection committee, that the board would have to vote on who out of the 5 community members would be selected?
So I believe go ahead. Chuck.
So thank you very much for the question. As I read this and as I actually discussed this with one of the selection committees, the board in its most recent iteration drew lots in terms of the order of which people were on, and that created a randomness that most recent selection committee supported. I believe this language supports the board saying we would like to appoint the members to the committee at random in this order, drawing the lots in the same way to preserve that same order, if you will, if people being called to serve on these selection committees. So there would be an order of however many people the board approves, and they would be asked in that order for each selection committee, would you like to serve? And then we'd work our way down the list.
Oh, okay. I didn't read it that way, but yes, I do still want to like randomly draw out who would be on the selection committee. And in that regard, I think we struck and removed the like selection process and the application process from the policy. Because there was a paragraph about how, the application was going to be posted on the website and to make the community members aware so that we could solicit community interest with a clear deadline for applying. So that, I think that paragraph still belongs in here because it establishes like the timeline and then that it's an annual appointment in a sense. Yes.
Could the application process be,
We
what's
could
the
put
word
it
missing?
right.
What's that?
Go ahead.
Drawing a blank on what is it called? The addition to a.
The regulation.
Yes, that's the word.
Oh, to create a regulation.
Yeah.
That's what I would recommend, do a regulation for the process for the
So could the regulation then also kind of build out what we mean by designate the order of the community members? Maybe we can better define that than that.
yeah, that would be the discussion for the regulation to do something like that.
Yeah. Members, the last paragraph there on the first page, membership shall include stakeholders whose interests are connected to the vacancy to be filled. I thought that was left too much room for interpretation and ambiguity, and who was going to be deciding whose interests were connected to the vacancies. I think everybody is interested in.
If I recall correctly, it's, let's say, for example, if it's let's say an assistant principal at the high school, then you're looking for individuals from the high school to be part of that particular committee, whether it's whatever union they're in, will come from the high school. So that's my understanding of that language. So it shall include stakeholders whose interests are connected to the vacancy to be filled. So, if, for example, if it was for the music director, but you had no one from the music department that was part of that committee, you're looking to make sure that you have someone that represents that area that they're coming from, that department they're coming from, right? And if it's an assistant principal, if it's not someone from usually the high school as an example, maybe be an assistant principal from middle school, something like that. So someone from that area or from that union that's going to be part of that. So that's what that's referring to.
So, okay, but I still think it's ambiguous, and to some degree, I don't know if this is a regulation or editing this statement, but we have to be careful that if it's a principal position, that we're not including an assistant principal that reports to that principal.
I think,
So,
go ahead, sorry.
in my opinion, anyway, and I know, I hear you saying that what you think, I'm just expressing what I think, so.
No, I didn't say anything. I
Yeah.
was going to say something, but I didn't want to
Yeah,
cut you
yeah,
off.
but no, I'm just clarifying, like, um,
So is any other suggestions for this hiring process? I don't want to make I'm fine with the language that's in there. The policy committee met, the people had opportunity to give feedback and whatnot. Feedback was provided. And this is where we're at. So I'm fine with what's here at this point in time. I'm not interested in making any additional changes. This is
Orlando did explain it to us.
right.
it's also on the second page, we're limiting now to 2 community members on each selection.
Right. We're gonna have 5 people, but only two members per whatever position is vacant.
Okay, so I'm still opposed to that. I still think it could stay up to 5 and based on the availability of the community members that are on the committee, that they may or may not be able to participate.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. I'm fine with leaving it as 2 community members and we select 5, but leave it for 2 for the committee.
Yeah, I would prefer to leave it with 2, so we have consistency, so it's not, for this position, there's 2, for this position, there's 4, for the next one, there's 3. Because that could throw off the dynamic of how the committee functions.
Any other feedback on this item?
No, I'm comfortable leaving it.
So I'm going to close the discussion on this. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed?
Opposed?
Motion carries 5-1. Can I do agenda items 3B1 down to 3B6 altogether? So 3B1 A through C, 3B 3A and B, 3B 4A through E, and then 3B6A through G. So once again,
Yes.
3B1 and C, 3B3A and B, 3B4A through E, and 3B6A through G.
Yes.
So all those, can I have a motion? Sorry.
Motion.
Second.
Chris Nairn is first, Carol Seehoff is second. Any discussion on this item?
No.
Items, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 6-0. Can I do agenda items 3C1 and 2 together?
I have separate, please.
Okay, Kevin, motion for agenda item 3C1, please.
Motion.
Chris Nairn is first, Leslie Kretz is second. Any discussion on this item?
Yes, sorry, I'm shuffling. There was mention, so this is district-wide carding services. It is the 3rd year. So did we go, and we did not go out for bid again. And then there was reference to, we approved the extension of this service contract at the same rate and service until the New York State OGS contract is awarded.
The New York State, Office of General Services has a series of contracts that school districts can jump onto, including carding. Unfortunately, the carding award has not yet been made by the OGS. So we're asking that you approve the extension until such time as OGS issues a new award. And then we'll come back to you and ask you to approve the carding contract in accordance with the new OGS contract.
Okay, so you're anticipating that
Very
during,
short,
over the duration of this school year?
yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you for clarifying.
Any other questions on this item? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 6-0. Can I have a motion for agenda item 3C2, please?
Motion.
Chris Nairn first. Carol Seoff second. Any discussion on this item?
No, but was it the awning, what is it called, that the middle school is including then?
Yes, what we're doing here is we're asking you to allow us to repair the awning at the middle school, which
Okay.
currently is in a terrible state of
Mhm.
disrepair. And this contract would allow us to actually replace the roof. And then after we replace the roof with a properly pitched roof that would lead the water to the drains, as opposed to the circumstance now where the water is puddling on the roof because there isn't proper pitch.
Yeah.
When we get finished with that, we will then have our crew go under that awning canopy,
Canopy. so
Scrape it.
is it- Yeah.
right, scrape it, paint it, and by September 1st, you'll have, in essence, a brand new canopy
Mhm.
with appropriately painted, a new roof, etc.
So we're transferring the funds, but we don't necessarily have the cost estimate to do that work yet, right?
We
So-
have an outside cost estimate
do.
of $173,600.
Okay,
We are in the process right now of bidding this
okay.
work, and we expect to open bids on July 8th
Mhm.
and ask you on July 14th to
Okay.
award the bid.
Oh, okay, so we're moving the funding in advance of that,
Yeah.
and we're still gonna see what the cost actually is.
Absolutely, and
Yeah.
we expect that the cost will be less than $173,600.
Right,
Because we asked this contractor to give us the outside estimate of the
Mhm.
cost.
okay, and that includes like probably lead sampling and for the paint. and-
Everything,
Yeah,
everything that would be necessary, yes.
okay, thank you.
Any other questions on this item? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 6-0. Can I have a motion for agenda item 3F1, please?
Motion.
Chris Nairn first. Leslie Kretz second. Any discussion on this item?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Sure.
I didn't have this in my Friday packet and I just saw it in the executive session, so what is this contract?
Dr. Talbot?
Trying to find it again.
So it's for a consultant who's going to do professional learning services over the summer.
Oh,
For
didn't see
three
it.
aspects of working with multilingual learners. One, with our bilingual teachers. Second, with ENL teachers. And then third, with our gen ed teachers who have multilingual learners in the class. It's funded through the Title III grant that we currently have. So
okay.
the title grants fiscal year runs September 1st through August 31st. So this is part of the funding we already have.
Okay, because that was my other question, so there was no cost on it. So you're saying because it's grant funded, we didn't identify the cost?
Oh,
It-
there should be a cost on it. So it's, her rate
Okay.
is 2,200 a day and it's not to exceed 10 days.
Oh.
It should be in the contract.
Okay, like I said, maybe my printout just didn't have it on Friday. So thank you for clarifying.
Any other discussion on this item? Excuse me. Any other discussion on this item? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 6-0. Oh. Is there any, I don't have it down here, but is there any community input or non-agenda items? Right. Have a motion to adjourn at 7:20, please.
Motion.
Carol Seehoff is first, Leslie Kretz is second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 6-0. Thank you for joining us.